All right, we're back. James, football is over, but we're not done talking about it. So you're going to lead us through. I have a feeling this is going to turn into a shit show. I would just say a full-on argument. I think we're about to have a full-on argument about the best offensive positions and who we think is the best current one. But you go ahead and describe it a little better than I just did.
To Alex's point, football is never over with me on the podcast. So probably talk about it a decent amount. To Alex's point, again, we're going to talk about the best position players and also the O-line. And we're going to go with like a running back, a quarterback, a wide receiver, tight end, and an O-line. And everybody has their own. We could have the same ones. Who knows? But then we're going to, argue it. We're going to have a consensus. And at the end, we'll give you our full team. And this team should be able to beat anybody. That's the goal. We're going to start with quarterback first. So, Traden, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be this guy. I mean, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes. Like that's who it is. I mean, I was gonna say Tom Brady, but guys, let's be real. Like, yeah, he's an amazing leader. But I said this yesterday. I said even when Patrick Mahomes was struggling, because I'm sorry, that wasn't his fault. He had the leakiest O line. I haven't seen such a sieve of an O line in like ever.
I can do you one better.
Well, we'll get there probably. But guys, I mean, this guy's played 46 games in this league. He's 38-8. 66% completion percentage. He's improved his interception numbers since his career high of 12 in 2018 and sits with an 80% QB rating over the last 3 seasons. He's dynamic. He can make plays with his legs and he's smart and people and players want to play for this guy. He's been to the Super Bowl back-to-back years now. I mean, he first of all, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. So and he's like 24. So yeah, that's my guy.
So you picked the guy who didn't throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, because again, it's not his fault. He had to run for 500 yards to even get a pass off. Like that's absurd. He doesn't even. I don't even know if he has 500. Like how many yards does he have in a season? Like rushing yards. He had to run away to just throw a damn ball for fuck's sake.
So you would pick like Jared Goff too, because he didn't have a touchdown in the Super Bowl either. So you're saying they're like the same person?
Well, actually, 31 teams didn't have a quarterback that threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl this year. So only one.
Good point.
Only one.
That's a good
Eric,
point.
who you got, man?
I got Aaron Rodgers. All right, guys. I love this guy. You always hear me talk about him. He's 1 for 1 in Super Bowls trading. Mahomes is 1 for 2. So,
but he went twice.
Yeah, Rodgers should have been there more. He had some other people fuck it up for him. That dude on the onside kick when they played the Seahawks fucking like 6 years ago, the dude dropped it. There's been other things, but it's never been Aaron Rodgers' fault, really. And he's good, and he would be my quarterback.
Eric, my issue with that one though, here's my issue with A-Rod. He doesn't play well from behind. He doesn't. Like if you look at his stats, he's not a very good come from behind player. Patrick Mahomes is. He dominates. I mean, in Super Bowl, okay, we're gonna wash that out of our minds right now. He did it against the Niners last year, and I was expecting it this year. I mean, he that's how he plays. He plays better from behind, and you need to be able to play from behind in the NFL. Like that's why I got him.
True.
Aaron Rodgers is definitely the best at throwing Hail Marys and completing them.
If you look, he actually does not have the greatest comebacks. He's actually in game-winning drives. He's not in the top 5. He's not in the top 5 game-winning drives.
Because never behind.
Well, when they are, because he can't win from behind.
Sure he can.
Wow.
I'm going to actually agree with Eric. I picked Aaron Rodgers as well.
Oh my God.
Dude, you got to.
We're not getting a consensus.
Hey, listen. No disrespect to Patrick Mahomes, but Aaron Rodgers is the MVP for a reason. You know, put that guy in the Kansas City Chiefs when the O-line was healthy and all that stuff. Like this team would be unbelievable. I don't think they would lose a game. He is just he's so smart. I think he's by far the smartest quarterback in the league. And that to me, we talked about last week how I said quarterback is one of the most mentally tough positions in sports. You got to be so mentally prepared, so mentally focused, and make good decisions. I think Aaron Rodgers has just shown it for longer than Patrick Mahomes has. Patrick Mahomes is a close second, but for me, when I think about like if I'm drafting a quarterback right now who I want to lead my offense, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers. Also, don't ever call Aaron Rodgers A-Rod. That's disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers. Fuck that.
And it's a solid point. Alex, who you got?
All right, you guys ready for this? Jimmy Garoppolo. No, I'm just I'm going to go off the rails a little bit. I'm going to go Deshaun Watson. Think about the team that he just played for. Absolute garbage. They traded away a top 3 wide receiver in the league, and he still led the league in passing. His offensive line was terrible. He's probably the most athletic quarterback overall. Better throwing arm than Lamar Jackson. Lamar might be a little bit better with a runner, but Deshaun's really close. He might not be as great in as Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers, but as a complete package of what you need in the NFL today, which is a mobile quarterback. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. He can't move around. The Steelers faltered after they started playing good teams. I'm going Deshaun Watson.
I definitely agree. I also had Deshaun Watson for that one. He's a dual threat QB. I'm going to reiterate basically everything you just said, but he played on a trash team. He led the league in yards. He was a 6th QB in rushing yards as well, only training Lamar, Kyler, Cam, Russ, and Taysom Hill, who's kind of a tight end. He had 444 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He got sacked 49 times. Talk about a bad O-line. 49 times is the second most in the NFL. Number 1 is Carson Wentz with 50. So the fact of the matter is he was running for his life too. And he didn't convert all those yards into yards forward. He ran for his life and made accurate throws on the run. Very mobile quarterback, accurate. He only had 7 interceptions to 33 touchdowns. If I were to build a team, Deshaun Watson would be my starting point.
So
you guys all argued great quarterbacks with great teams. And one could argue that
Tom Brady, huh?
Nobody picked Tom Brady because he's old fuck. But one could argue that good quarterback play is based off of the weapons at hand. And hey, the Houston Texans had none. They traded it all away.
I would say to your point, you're an Alex's point. You guys are probably swaying me in that if you give Deshaun Watson a top 5 O-line, and he's already putting up these yards and these stats without a good O-line. Team him a top 5 O-line. We're going to talk about O-line later. I'm with you guys. I like that. I like that pick.
Right now it's Deshaun Watson versus Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers is old. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt.
He's smurder.
He gets hurt, man. And to trade this point, he can't win from behind. And the fact of the matter is he hasn't won.
Never behind.
He's okay. So then how come he only has 1 Super Bowl win?
You win what? How many Deshaun Watson has not? He's barely made the playoffs and done anything in the playoffs.
Deshaun Watson is 22, 3.
He's pretty much 15 youngers than 15.
Yeah, like he's
15 youngers.
15 youngers.
With the worst team,
boys.
And nobody that supports him.
The Rams should have got him. What the fuck?
That's besides the point. I think Deshaun Watson takes this.
I'm staying with
Aaron
Deshaun
Rodgers
Watson.
can't run.
How do we do the consensus voting?
I think
right now it is 3-2.
I think it's majority.
It's 2-2. So Deshaun Watson takes it.
Yeah, we're never all going to agree. Let's be real.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson at quarterback. That's our first pick. Moving on to running back. Eric, who you got?
I got to go with my boy Derrick Henry. Monster, horse, whatever you want to call him. Build your offense around this guy. He won't let you down. He's always getting the job done.
Tyler, you have?
Eric, I'm pretty sure you're copying and pasting my answers because I also have Derrick Henry. He's got the turd hair, which I'm pretty sure gives him powers. So can't go against that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Alex, you have?
I'm going Alvin Kamara. Dual threat running back, best catching back in the league. 6 touchdowns in a game. What else do you need to know?
And Traden.
Yeah, dual threat. My boy Alvin Kamara. He was only top 13 in rushing yards, but number 1 in receiving yards. And that's, so his per yards per game in the air was better than any other running back in the game this season. And given the fact that a lot more offenses are being built around more of a through the air type of style, like we're seeing that more yards are getting gained in the air. You need to have that dual threat, and that's why he's reliable on the ground. He's reliable, as an option for the quarterback. I'm with you, Alex.
I have a couple of points against that, but first I'm going to say my running back pick is Nick Chubb. He's one of the hardest running backs to tackle. He averaged 5.6 yards per game. That's the most a running back average with more than 140 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
He had 1,067 yards and 190 carries, which is half of what Derrick Henry had. He had half the amount of carries that Derrick Henry had, but it was only 800 yards behind him. He hasn't played that much as a pass catcher, but when he does, he excels. We saw it in the playoff game. He averages 9.4 yards per catch. And he was graded as the best pass blocker among all running backs. And that's huge. You guys are looking at offensive numbers and offensive numbers only, but the fact of the matter is it's a passing league too. So that running back has to stay in pass pro. To you guys' point with Alvin Kamara and how he is a really good pass catching back, that's a function of Drew Brees. When Taysom Hill was a quarterback or Jameis Winston was at quarterback, Alvin Kamara was nowhere to be found in the pass game. It was mostly the Latavius Murray game because they decided to run the ball in a traditional way.
But we also have Deshaun Watson as a quarterback.
Yeah,
so.
we have. Yeah, exactly. Trade him. We're fucking same wavelength, man.
So, and also for who do you guys? Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's a monster.
He's good,
but he's a one-dimensional running back. He's gonna play. He runs north and south, but can he make cuts? No. So if the O line doesn't give him a hole and doesn't get enough speed, how is he gonna get anywhere?
He's going to jump over people by stomping on them.
Yeah, but if we're building the best offense, he's going to have the best offensive line to work with. So in this situation, wouldn't you want to have the best? Just
man.
Yeah, and if you got Aaron Rodgers just being smart and making plays happen, then you just hand it to him.
Just let him run it.
This is a hard conversation because it's like, oh, but what if we don't have a good quarterback? But we do.
But we do, and a good O line.
What if he's
you picked Deshaun Watson? Is it good
enough? So did anybody change their vote at all? No. Or are we still sticking with the 2-2-1?
So wait, I actually kind of like Nick Chubb, but I feel like Kareem Hunt took some slack off of Chubb.
Exactly. Imagine how much better his numbers would be had Kareem Hunt not been there.
That's true.
No, I feel like,
or he would have broken down.
Yeah, I was thinking the opposite. Or he would have been the main go-to guy, and they would have keyed in on him.
I'm changing Derrick Henry. Changed my mind.
Yeah.
I might go with Nick Chubb only because he saved my fantasy league.
Eric, are you saying Derrick Henry or going Nick Chubb?
I'm going to stick with Derrick Henry, but I do like Nick Chubb, but I'm sticking with Derrick Henry.
So Derrick Henry is our running back. Moving on to wide receiver, I think this might be a consensus here. But Tyler, you go first.
Tyreek Hill. I mean, the dude is just the most explosive guy after the catch. He's just so athletic. He was on my fantasy team this year, and he just blew that shit out of the water. This guy can do it all. He can go deep. He can run slants. He can do pretty much anything. I think he's the overall most athletic wide receiver in the league. And with this huge passing game, you need to be versatile, and he is that. Tyreek Hill.
Alex?
I'm having a really tough time with this one, but I think I'm going to go with Devonta Adams. I mean, after watching him I was wrong. Dude, I said Jalen Ramsey could take him. I was wrong. He fucking worked Jalen Ramsey in that game against the Rams. Devonta Adams is the best wide receiver in football right now.
Yeah, Alex, I think we took the same fucking pill, or we're on the same wavelength here, dude. Because 98 yards a game, that's insane. I mean, and 18 receiving touchdowns. I think that's most of the league. I'm looking here. The only one that is Hill at 15, so it's pretty close. But Hill's not also getting 98 yards a game. That's stupid.
Eric,
who's throwing the ball to Devonte Adams? Trading
Deshaun Watson.
Aaron Rodgers. So wait, does it have to be someone current?
Yes.
Okay, well, because I had Calvin Johnson, but I'm going to change my answer to Devonte Adams because he is. There's nothing else to say. We just proved all the points.
Yeah. Like I said, this is going to be a consensus. I also picked Devonte Adams. He had 18 touchdowns in 16 games. He's unguardable. If Tyreek Hill pulls a hammy, he's done. At least Devonta Adams can run slants if he has a hammy.
Have you seen Tyreek Hill do the Nordic exercise? I'll send the video to you guys. It's insane.
I typically don't watch men do exercises, but hey, you never know.
That's literally Eric's job.
Yeah, true.
So Devonta Adams is our wide receiver. So far we have Deshaun Watson, Derrick Henry, and Devonta Adams.
Sorry,
Crazy
Tyler.
team.
That's nasty.
Okay.
Moving on to tight end. Alex, who you got?
I mean, it's Travis Kelce. Like, why are we even talking about this?
Because I have a lot of good points otherwise.
Yeah, I got a good
Trade.
points on mine.
No, Travis Kelce.
Shane, who you got?
George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
George Kittle.
Who's
There's
that?
the reason why. I mean, I think he can. I'm not gonna say that he's Travis Kelce offensively, but the fucking dude can block. He's the best. He's a blocker. He was a blocker in Iowa. He's a blocker here. He's the greatest blocking tight end. And guess what? When you're not catching balls, you're gonna have to be part of the O-line. It's George Kittle, bro.
You're not going to need the blocking with the gray O line.
Yes, you do. Eric.
We learned yesterday Gronk, the most.
Man,
Oh man, he's probably the most clutch tight end we've ever seen. I mean,
that's true. But
didn't do shit all season. 2 touchdowns yesterday. Dominates out of nowhere. Just shows up when it matters. Clutch guy.
to your point, I mean, I think I agree because James said this yesterday. He probably should have won the MVP, but dude, he's old. Like, nah.
Tyler, who you got?
I also got Travis Kelce. I think George Kittle for me was a close second, but I mean, he is still young. He had this injury-riddled season, but to me, I just think that Travis Kelce is a little bit more durable, and that's super important in football. So that's why I think Kelce gets the slight nod in this one.
I have George Kittle because I'm a Niners fan. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm a Niners fan. He's a great receiver and he has great route running skills. He gets open at will. But the thing is, he's an even better blocker. To Traden's point, he's not the best blocking tight end because I think that award goes to Nick Boyle of the Baltimore Ravens, but he's the second best. He goes out there and he makes plays. He actually held the record for the most receiving yards for a tight end in a season 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. And then who just broke it? That's right. That's what I thought.
Hey, but the thing is, George Kittle is also out. So
George Kittle has had 1.5 good years. That is it. Travis Kelce has been good for 6 years.
If you're using that logic, then Deshaun Watson shouldn't be our quarterback. It should be Aaron Rodgers.
Except Deshaun Watson's been great for all 4 of his years.
Okay, and then Aaron Rodgers has been great for 25.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is 37 million years old. Travis Kelce almost led the league in receiving yards as a tight end.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not all about offensive numbers. It's pass pro.
Look at Gronk.
Travis Kelce doesn't
all
block.
of it with one arm.
Yeah, I think I've said this with our last playoff previews that it is. I mean, like I said, we are throwing the ball more, but to win a game, you have to establish a running game, and he's part of that. And to me, that's why he gets my vote. I mean, when he went to Iowa, the coach said, if you're going to play tight end for me, you need to be able to block. Simple as that. And he took that to heart, and he still does. Like, it's going to be hard for me to. I mean, I'm not saying Travis Kelce is a fucking nothing. Like, Travis Kelce is incredible, but I'm looking for that dual threat.
What did Iowa do that year?
I mean, I don't know.
Nothing. They had TJ Beathard as a quarterback. There's no question that Travis Kelce is the best receiving tight end in the NFL, but
yes,
George Kittle is the most complete tight end in the NFL.
I don't care. I'm not switching.
Eric, who are you picking? Travis Kelce, George Kittle?
Probably Kelce. He just yesterday
Damn it.
had him in DraftKings, and he should have caught more passes, but he caught a lot of them. So not enough though.
So Travis Kelce is our tight end.
That's still a disgusting tight end. Like,
Yeah. Last but not least, we're going to go offensive line. Traden, who you got for offensive line?
Cleveland Browns, baby. Look what Cleveland did. They generated the most pocket time for Baker this year, and we saw Baker turn the ball over less. It definitely helped. They ranked 3rd in rushing yards, tied for 5th in rushing yards per carry, 5th in rushing touchdowns, 2nd in rushing of more than 20 yards, and allowed just 26 sacks, among the lowest in the league. And you just saw what they did. Like, they helped propel that team to the playoffs. Like, it was a completely different dynamic. And guess what? When what I saw yesterday, you need a fucking O-line. Like, and this O-line did it. And I can't imagine if the Browns O-line was in the playoffs, or in the Super Bowl, because with a competent quarterback, because it would be dangerous.
You hear that, Eric? He said offensive line is important, more important than the safety. But hey, who do you got for offensive line?
Wait, what?
Who do you have for your offensive line?
I got the Packers offensive line because look, if they made Aaron Rodgers and Devonte Adams stick out and Aaron Jones, I mean, we're gonna need them on our team to make our guys stick out and protect them.
Protect.
Tyler, who do you got?
I also have the Cleveland Browns right guard Wyatt Teller and right tackle Jack Conklin were the best, highest rated tight ends in the league, and having two of those guys on the same O-line, I mean, I think that just proves. And I mean, I think also their overall ranking, I think they were ranked like bottom and third of the league last year.
Yep.
And they were top 5 this year. That is an amazing turnaround. Props to, I don't know who the O-line coach for the Browns is, but good on you. Obviously, the development of those guys that they brought in. I mean, they made this Browns team as successful as they were, and they killed it this year. So for me, it's hands down the Cleveland Browns O-line.
Alex?
I really wanted to say the Rams based off of how terrible their offensive line was in 2019 to how good it was in 2020. But I have to agree with my boy Traden. It's the Cleveland Browns. Apparently, the offensive lines coach is Bill Callahan, by the way. Just learned that. You're welcome. But yeah, so Jack Conklin only allowed 2.9% of his blocks to like affect the pass. 2.9%. That's insane. The Browns they should be the offense. Can't believe I'm saying those words out loud.
Right?
Like the Cleveland Browns offensive line is the best one, but that's what I got.
So just imagine if they didn't just have Baker. I mean, I gave a lot of props to Baker, but Baker is like imagine if they had Deshaun Watson
or Aaron Rodgers.
Watch out.
Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl chance for sure. I had the Green Bay Packers. Not that it matters now, but they only give it 20 sacks in the year, which was the lowest. And they helped Aaron Jones. I mean, aside from being a great pass blocking team, Aaron Jones had 1,104 rushing yards in the season. That's pretty good. But yeah, the Browns, I have to give major props, man, from being a terrible offensive line to being one of the best. 1 year, huge turnaround, and it showed. They made it to the playoffs. So congratulations, Browns. You are our offensive line. So to recap, Deshaun Watson, our quarterback. Our running back is Derrick Henry. Our wide receiver is Devonta Adams. Our tight end is not George Kittle. It's Travis Kelce. And our offensive line are the Cleveland Browns. And that is our offense. And I'm pretty sure they'll beat anybody. That's
God. I don't even care what our defense is. We'll just
who cares?
Completely outscore you.
Yeah, that was super fun. I feel like the consensus thing went out the window real quick, which is fine because we were never going to agree. But James, that was great.